All right, this is the last section of this chapter, and it is on simplifying expressions and like terms. So this shouldn't be that difficult. It's going to be a little bit of writing as well, just to help you guys know where you should be going with certain things mathematically. All right, so the term is a number or product of numbers where variables are raised to certain powers. So what you're looking for specifically is what's going to designate a term, one term from another, is a variable or a power, all right? And the numerical coefficient is the number that's in front of that term. So terms with their coefficient. So 7 is actually a term, okay? It just has like an x to the 0 power, which would be 1, okay? So this 7 is a term, and 7 is also its own coefficient. 5x cubed is a separate term. Its coefficient is 5. So the coefficient is the number that leads off the term. Okay, x, y squared, that's a term. -4 is the number that leads that off. That's going to be your coefficient for that as well. Okay, z squared, there's an understood 1 in front of that, right? Because 1 times any number is that number. So the coefficient, if it's just a variable, is always going to be just a plain old 1. Okay, so the coefficient for each of these terms. -6x. Okay, coefficient for this one is going to be -6. 27z cubed, coefficient is going to be 27. -y, your coefficient is going to be -1. And x over 19, your coefficient is 1/19. Okay, because we looked at this a couple of lessons ago, that this is the same thing as writing x times 1 over 19, or 1 over 19 times x, so that gives you your coefficient of 1/19. Okay, so like terms. Like terms have the same variables raised to the same power. Okay, same variable raised to the same power. So 3x and 2x, these are like terms. Your variable is an x and it's raised to the power of 1. Okay, variable is x raised to the power of 1. These are like terms. Okay. -6x squared y, 2x squared y, 4x squared y. Okay, same variables, same powers. Okay, same variables, same powers on all of these. Okay, 5x and 5x squared, same variable, different powers. Same variable, different powers. 7y, 3z, 8x squared, different variables. All right, different variables and different powers with this x squared in here. Okay. Determine whether these are like or unlike. All right, look at the variable, look at the power. You have x squared, you have x cubed. Those are going to be unlike. Okay, you have x squared, y squared, x squared, y squared, x squared, y squared, x squared, y squared. Those will be like terms. Okay, ab, ba, these are like terms. Okay, these are like terms because commutative property says that I can switch the order of this. So 3ba is the same as saying 3ab. Okay, so these are like terms. X cubed, y cubed, same power, different variable. Okay, so that makes those unlike. So when you're combining like terms, so when you simplify the sum or the difference of like terms, that's what we would call combining like terms, all right? So combining like terms here, do you have like terms? You have x squared, yes. So what you do when you combine like terms is you are working with the coefficient. So when you're combining like terms, you're working with the coefficient. So it's going to keep the base of the x squared, and you add 6 to 7, all right? So 13x squared is going to be this term combined, okay? 19xy minus 30xy, xy, like terms, you can combine these, okay? So you're taking 19, subtracting 30, which is a -11xy. All right, x and y squared, x squared and y. These are not like terms. You can't do anything with these, okay? They cannot be combined because they are not like terms. Writing algebraic expressions. This is kind of going back to word problems that we looked at a couple lessons ago. All right, so let x represent the unknown number. Make sure you read the problem in the homework, because it's going to tell you usually that if it wants a specific variable. So this is telling you it wants x to represent your unknown number. So twice a number plus 9. Twice a number, 2x plus 9. Plus 9. Okay, so 2x plus 9. 7 times the sum of a number and 2. Okay. Whenever you see this 7 times the sum of a number and 2, this is telling you there's going to be parentheses going on. So 7 times the sum of a number and 2. So that's going to be x plus 2 in parentheses. And then you would have to distribute that through to simplify it. So it'd be 7x plus 14. But with those word charts, make sure you write this down, that whenever you see something like this, 7 times the sum of a number and 2, or if you saw 6 times the difference of a number and 4, it would be, you would have the parentheses here. So you would have multiplication on the outside of the parentheses, and inside the parentheses you would have your other operation. Okay, 3 times the sum of a number and 6, right? 3 times the sum of a number and, that's telling you parentheses. So 3 parentheses x plus 6, you distribute that 3 through to the x and to the 6, and you get 3x plus 18. So the sum of the number and 2, this comma is going to help you out now. The sum of a number and 2 divided by 5. Okay, so you have the sum of a number and 2, that would be your parentheses, okay, divided by 5. All right, you don't have to keep the parentheses here, because if you guys remember from order of operations, this fraction bar acts as a pairing symbol or parentheses. And that should be all that you really need to know to get through the homework, but I really suggest that you guys add these examples into your notes, and you're going to want to add these phrases, like a number times the sum of a number. You're going to want to add these phrases to those word charts, because this is the kind of thing that kids got caught up on the most last year, is forgetting that when you see 3 times the sum of a number and 6, it's not 3x plus 6, it's 3 parentheses x plus 6. They usually get caught up the most on these kind of word problems, all right? So I strongly suggest you add this into your notebook and into that word chart that I told you to leave space on in the back. So what you guys should do is you should go and you should find the example questions and get those done. And we will go over more of these problems tomorrow in class.